What's up, YouTube Nation? I'm the Coffee Bean Jim. So this is going to be day, 5? Let me bring up the question here so I don't forget. So day 5 of the RPG a Day 2017 challenge, or whatever I call it. And, the question today is, which RPG cover best captures the spirit of the game? I think there's a lot of really good books out there with absolutely amazing artwork. And it was kind of hard trying to figure out one that really fit the game or was able to, kind of convey the feeling that they wanted. Now, there's a lot of books out there with really good artwork. One of the ones that comes to mind immediately is Symbaroum, which has just absolutely amazing artwork and has the artwork in there really captures the feel of the game and the atmosphere of it. But for this question, I was kind of looking at it more, a cover that both when you look at it, you immediately know what to expect out of the game, as well as what it can do, almost mechanically in a sense. If you get my drift, a cover that all you have to do is show somebody this, and they would almost immediately know if that's the type of game they want to play, if it fits them or not. There's a lot of books, especially across the D&D line and stuff like that, they have amazing atmospheric, action-packed pictures. Pathfinder's another one that has awesome artwork, but it doesn't really convey, what to expect out of the game in a way that, what I'm hoping I'm going to show you it does. So for me, after thinking about this a little bit and, going through my books, the one that, actually there's two that I have, I couldn't keep it down to one, but the first one I have is Rifts. This is the Game Master Guide, and the reason this one caught my eye is Rifts is a very, I don't want to say generic, but a wide encompassing RPG. It has a lot of different stuff, so too bad the lighting isn't all that great here, but it kind of conveys it. You got this big huge mech unit sort of thing that's there. You got this more historical looking guy that has that more historic RPG sort of feel. You got just your typical big knight in shining armor with a magical sword that gives you a little bit more of that fantasy feel. Up here, there's a mage, and he's kind of steampunkish looking a little bit. You got these huge dragon up here, dragons coming through down here. It's hard to see, but behind this guy right over in here is you have what's kind of like a super soldier sort of guy. The lighting really isn't that great, I'm sorry. And then you have, these other wyvern, dragon-like creatures. You have this red sun that gives it a more alien sort of feel, or maybe even apocalyptic sort of feel. And the cool thing is Rifts does all of that. It runs from fantasy to science fiction to steampunk to historical to modern to futuristic. And that's what this cover does. This cover pretty much covers, all the different aspects of what Rifts can do. And you get that sense, especially by the heft of this book, of what it can do, both in theme and genre, with all these different pictures and feelings to it, as well as mechanically. They're showing magic, they're showing historical combat, they're showing super soldiers, dragons, and all sorts of stuff. So for me, Rifts, this one here, the Game Master Guide. If I was to, try and get anybody interested in Rifts in general, this would be the book that I would show them. It's, it pretty much covers everything, and on top of all that, you can blend and merge any of these genres into one game, and there's some balance issues that do come up, but for the most part, you can run a mech unit and a super soldier with, a Sinbad based historical figure riding atop dragons in steampunk setting. It can do all of that. And the second one, this game's been pretty much on my list across the board. I've talked about it already in a couple other videos, but Shadow of the Demon Lord. Now the core book itself has kind of a feel, but Schwab came out with a supplement called The Hunger and the Void, and this was a brutal, disgusting sort of module. It talks about demons, devils, and just the horrific sort of things that are out in the void and the cosmos and stuff like that. And the reason this picture kind of caught my eye is it covers both the theme and the genre of the game, of just horrific, absolutely brutal fantasy, as well as some of the mechanics it kind of shows as well. So Probably have to look it up. It's a darker cover, but hopefully you can see it a little bit here. Give it there. That's about the best I can get it with the lighting in here. But what we have is this huge Minotaur-like creature. It's one of the beast men of the game, a four-armed, monstrous sort of beast. And, these things are huge. That's why you got these little people down here running from it. But over here, you got this little three-eyed imp-like creature, and it's kind of hard to see. Maybe. But he's ripping out the eyeballs of this minister, priestly-looking fellow. And, this picture, it both covers what you would expect out of a Shadow of the Demon Lord game. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be horrific. It's going to be bloody, gory. That's what you're going to get. And that's what this conveys. But on top, these, where it's ripping out the eyeballs and stuff, there are spells and there's creatures that actually do that are going to tear apart your body, rip out your eyeballs, and tear out your throat. And that's the mechanics in the game. You have this huge Minotaur creature. This is just one example of the Beastmen. There's a bunch of different ones, but it shows you they're big. They're something you don't want to mess with. So the reason I chose this one as the second book was because if I was trying to get somebody interested in Shadow of the Demon Lord, this would probably be the book, because it's metal, I guess, for lack of a better term. It's a very brutal game, and when you want somebody to understand what they're getting themselves into, that's the cover that would do it. So, not necessarily one book, but two covers that I think best convey or encapsulate the themes, the genre, and the mechanics of a game. Those would be my two choices for the day. Now, this video is going to be filmed a day ahead, as tomorrow is actually August 5th, but I am going camping for the weekend, and I won't be around, so I'll toss this up late tonight, early in the morning before I head out, and hopefully I'll see you guys when I get back. Have a great one. Keep rolling those D20s.